An influx of Chinese migrants. In fact, I mentioned that 450 number. In the past 3 days, we've eclipsed that number of migrants. These migrants here in Jacumba, 60 miles east of San Diego, are waiting to be processed. Many of them will be released, but it's the national security aspect.
Illegal immigration into the United States of America has been a problem for years, and most of the time, not all, the immigrants would be from South America or Central America with the promise, so to speak, of a better life in the United States. More recently, there have been a large number of Chinese immigrants from mainland China. Now, there is one gentleman on YouTube who denies all this, and in fact, he was saying that these Chinese immigrants would be from some Central American countries. Let's have a listen to what he has to say.
No one has actually been able to suggest where these people come from. And
so he is saying, where do these people come from? So courtesy of VOA, Voice of America, we can see this map here that they travel from China to Turkey, etc., to South America, to Ecuador, because visas are not very strict there, then somehow get to the Mexican American border and finding some 4-foot holes in the Great Wall.
And this way, Thomas, you can see they're lining up the families and the women and children that'll go first when the vans come. But the vans are overloaded because so many migrants are coming, so they have to wait hours. And in fact, some of these migrants might even have to spend the night, depending on how many vans they have.
And why? Well, this is one person's reason.
Homeland.
I don't have any hope for the future of China. I feel like it's going to get worse, going back to the time of the Cultural Revolution.
Let's continue with Jerry's take on China.
don't know where they've come from. We don't know why they arrived there because no one is interviewing them and asking them, or if they are, they're not telling us.
This is awful. They are interviewing them. So many of the big companies like ABC, Fox, Al Jazeera have been there, and they have interviewed them. You want the evidence? I can do it right now.
I go to Hong Kong from my Hubei first, and then to Thailand from Hong Kong by plane, and then Turkey from Thailand by plane, and Ecuador, and up through the South America to America here.
There is always two sides to the argument, and here is Mr. Gray, a former copper from the United Kingdom, saying this propaganda stuff and saying there's no and he does have this kind of trustworthiness in him because he's an ex-copper, whatever, and he's been in China for a long time with boots on the ground. But this one, I'm sorry, Mr. Gray, but the evidence there and the proof that we have from different news sources for you shows you that they do come from the People's Republic of China. Maybe a tiny percentage do come from some Chinese migrants in Central and maybe South America, but the majority do come from there with the evidence. You can just type in Google, for example. You can use your illegal VPN and type in Chinese migrants, southern border, and go through all the news articles. It doesn't have to come from a state news media, or doesn't have to come from America. It can come from Al Jazeera. It can come from the South China Morning Post. You can actually watch real interviews from American Chinese lawyers who are trying to help them into the country, etc. It's quite fascinating, the whole process. But your denial of them coming from China, well, I'm afraid I am going to discredit you, and you are wrong there. We have the actual evidence on TV. My name is James. Thank you so much for your time. Au revoir. Bye-bye for now.
Version of TikTok, where those who have made the journey describe what to bring, where to meet a bus, and where to find bathrooms and food. This man who chooses to use only